This is an HD Politics Special program.
Ladies and gentlemen, conservatives, libertarians, walkaway Dems, independents, election day is upon us. And to my Democrats that are in control of the Senate and the House, to quote Twisted Sister, we're not going to take it anymore. I'm your host, Jake.
And I'm Mark.
Welcome to HD Politics. Election day is here. It is coming. Tomorrow is the day we can finally, hopefully, take back America. Are you with me?
It's like your Christmas, isn't it?
Oh, this is Christmas. This is the Super Bowl. It's all of it wrapped into one. I mean, I'm already trying to plan, I've got the big screen downstairs. I'm going to be watching election night, maybe till January when they finally get finished counting stuff. I don't know.
He's going all out for you, folks. Dedicated.
All out because, I love this stuff. I love this stuff. I enjoy watching the polls. I enjoy seeing the media meltdown. I'll probably watch NBC tomorrow night because I like to see the tears and the crying. Plus, they've got that cool map that they put on the Rockefeller Center ice skating rink that you can see, stuff colored in. It's more exciting for presidential years, but whatever. But yeah, things are tightening up. Okay. The polls they're tight all over.
Read the polls, Jack.
Yeah, read the polls, Jack. Dumb man once said. But anyway, things are getting tight, and tomorrow is the day. So if you haven't voted yet, do not forget. I was at the dentist again today. I've got some issues going on.
Stop eating candy.
But I can't stop, man. I'm recovering from Halloween. And the girl cleaning my teeth or whatever it was she was doing, she was talking to the dentist and she said, "Are you going to go vote tomorrow?" I mean, I can't talk because I'm, my mouth's full of stuff. And I'm like, "Oh, this is a no move then." I sounded like Joe Biden. So I didn't say anything, but the lady's cleaning my teeth and she talks to the dentist. She's like, "Hey, you gonna go vote tomorrow?" And the dentist is like, "Yeah, I'm gonna go vote tomorrow. How about you?" And the girl went, "Probably not. It's just midterms." I almost bit her finger off, but I couldn't. They had that thing in there.
School boards, these things matter.
Everything. Midterms are important, and it's not just the fate of our country, which is a big deal, but like Mark said, school boards, it's the fate of your local educational system. Your tax dollars are going to that, whether you like it or not. You might as well vote for something. All right. So we're going to run through some of these hot button issues here. So I just watched like I said, I was going to watch NBC tomorrow night just for the fun of it. So I thought I'd check out what they're saying to kind of get a feel of how sad they will be tomorrow evening. And I went through a few of their polls. It was, what's that guy's name? Chuck Todd.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good old Chuck Todd. Up Chuck Todd. So anyway, this is the big number that everybody needs to realize. How satisfied are the American people with the state of the U.S. economy? 81% are dissatisfied with the state of the U.S. economy. 81%. That's almost everybody.
Who's these 19% out there?
They're the people like Chuck Todd who are setting pretty and rich and they don't care that, or people like Stephen Colbert, who made the comment about how, I'm willing to pay $5, $6, $8, $20 a gallon for gas if it helps the Ukrainians. Okay. And then he adds that with, "But I have a Tesla, so it doesn't really matter." Okay.
How does it help Ukraine?
It doesn't. It doesn't. It does in their world, but in the real world where most of us live, it does not.
Okay. I was going to say.
81% believe that the U.S. economy is tanking. It has not been this high of a dissatisfaction number since the Great Recession back in 08, 09. So, yeah. Biden's approval rating. So this is the last approval rating that's going to come out before the election because it's tomorrow, is 44%.
That's not bad to where he used to be.
It's not, compared, yeah. However, I would like to point out that in 2018, giant Donald Trump was at 46%. So maybe Trump wasn't as hated as the left told us he was.
Was there a blue wave in 2018?
They lost 40 seats. The Republicans lost 40 seats. But the average since Truman, the average president during the midterm has lost like 43 seats. So this is not, I mean, that's normal. Obama's approval rating during the midterm, his first midterm, was 45%. So Biden and Obama are both less approved at this point in their presidency than Donald Trump was. I would just like to point that out. Oh, and Bill Clinton was at like 43%.
No way. Everybody loves Bill.
Yeah, of course
Mostly women.
that was now you got to remember this was first term Bill before, the stuff happened. We can't talk about because this is a children's show.
This is a children's show?
I don't know. Somebody's kids, maybe. My kids don't listen, but maybe yours do. I don't know. Not yours, Mark. You don't have any. But all right. So the GOP only needs 5 seats to win the House of Representatives. That's it. They only need 5.
That should be easy.
That should be easy. I mean, they should be able to do that without campaigning. They only need 1 seat to win the Senate. They only need 1. Now, they need to hold on to the ones they have, but they only need to gain 1 seat. So, Mark, let's go through the rundown. Let's see what your prediction versus my prediction are.
I have a list.
I've made my list as well. Now, we're just going to do the Senate because the House, there's, like we said, there's 435 seats.
What about the governors? We get those?
We could touch on the governors. No, sorry, I don't want to say we can touch the governors because I am not a Cuomo fan. Okay, governors need to keep their hands to themselves. All right. So, Mark, we're gonna go through all the Senate seats that are up.
Okay.
Washington State.
Washington's going to stay Democrat.
I concur. Washington will stay blue. They are too blue to come back. Colorado is also up for grabs.
Oh, that's going to be blue.
Colorado is also, I agree, going to stay blue. Ohio.
I think Vance is going to do it. I think it's going to stay red.
I agree with you. I say Ohio is going to stay red. The Republicans are going to keep that in their column. Vance is up, according to the 538 poll. He's up by like 5.5% over Ryan. So he should have a good shot with that. Let's head to the South. Let's go to North Carolina.
North Carolina. I got Republican on that one.
I've got Republican on that one as well. Feeling pretty good about that one. And let's go ahead and touch on Florida since we're down there.
Little Marco. That's going to be Marco.
That's Rubio's seat. Little Marco. He's got tiny hands, but he's a good senator, I suppose. He was running against Demings, who, for those of you that don't, are like, who the heck is that? She was like 2 people away from being vice president.
Wow.
Yeah, she was one of Biden's, because it had to be a black woman. So that automatically narrowed things down significantly. But she was one of the top 3 picks. And, it couldn't be any worse than what we got. So, all right, let's move on to Wisconsin. That is another state that is controlled by the Republicans at the moment.
That's close, but I think the other guy shot himself in the foot, so I think Ron Johnson's going to keep it.
I agree. I think Ron Johnson is going to keep it. Right now, 538 poll has him up 3.4%. That race back in the summer or early fall was really close, and for a while, Barnes was in the lead. But
yeah, he kind of messed up with the crime and everything.
Yeah. Crime is a big deal, and the Democrats have not been paying attention to crime. They have completely ignored it, and it's a big issue. All right, let's see. Let's move to the West for a little bit. Nevada, that's a big one.
That's gonna come down to the nighttime. Who knows what's gonna happen?
You mean like water leaks?
Counties that get ballots all of a sudden, cars opening up. I still think it's gonna go red though. I think that's the safest bet.
Pipes bursting. Pool of Georgia. I agree. I think Nevada is going to go red. So far, you and I are agreeing on everything. That's great. I believe Nevada is going to go red, but I do think it's going to be close. I do think it'll be close. But that's Harry Reid's old seat. That would be great. Let's move in a different direction. Let's go to New Hampshire.
That one's surprisingly close. Usually, it's the blue blood state, bunch of Democrats, but Republicans have been doing well.
New Hampshire's weird.
Sununu is their governor. Things are kind of strange there. So I'm going to say, surprisingly, Republican.
I am also going to say Republican. And according to the 538 poll, the Democrat is ahead by 2 points at the moment. But, I mean,
Sununu can pull that guy over. If he was a cop, he could pull him over. But, I mean, across the finish line.
Yeah, I agree. He's really started to climb here in the last month or so.
I think Tulsi was there.
So, and they like her up there because they have a little bit of a libertarian,
independent streak.
Yeah, independent streak to them. So, yeah, I think New Hampshire's going to go red. I think that's going to be a surprise for the night. Let's see, where are we at here? Let's go to Arizona. We got Kelly versus Masters.
Kelly's wife was the one who got shot,
Gabby Gifford.
I think he's going to win it.
So, me and Mark are disagreeing on Arizona. I think Arizona is going to go red. Blake Masters has really tightened this race up. According to 538, he's only down by 1.9%. And Kari Lake, who is running for governor, is very popular out there right now. I think this is going to be an example, just like you mentioned with New Hampshire, where governors carry the Senate. Okay, people vote for their governor because they love them. They vote for slightly less popular Senate candidates simply because they have an R next to their name, just like the governor that they loved. And I think Kari Lake is going to pull Blake Masters across the finish line in Arizona, and Arizona will go red, which would swap a state because that's a blue state.
I don't know. 2020, they have Arizona, Georgia, and Pennsylvania going days later because of, the ballot. I would watch out for that. Arizona, Pennsylvania, and Georgia, they already got the number down.
Everybody needs to watch closely all of these things because I'm not saying that anything weird happened in 2020. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is some weird stuff happened in 2020 and we need to watch what's happening in 2022. Trust no one. All right, what do we got left? Let's go to, so you and I disagree on Arizona, but that's the only one, right?
So far.
That's about to fall apart, Mark. Let's move on to Pennsylvania. We have Fetterman, or Fetterwoman, as he called himself during the campaign.
He's been calling himself a lot of things lately. You don't know who he is.
That's because he doesn't know. He should see a doctor. How about Dr. Oz?
Did you hear about Oprah? She turned on Oz. She turned on her own disciple. Unbelievable.
Ah, that's a shame. I bet his feelings were hurt.
I doubt it. Crying with money. Oh.
Yeah. Wipe my tears away with my millions of dollars. So this race has been all over the map. I mean, they started out far, 4 or 5 points apart, and then Fetterman ran away with it. And then he had a stroke, and he was still running away with it. And then he had his debate. Chuck Schumer said on a hot mic to Joe Biden, "I don't think the debate in Pennsylvania hurt us too bad." So they even know that this guy's a disaster. But, you're in too deep at this point. So currently, 538 poll has these people within 0.1 of each other. It is a tie, a dead heat. I'm going to take a leap of faith, and I am going to say that Dr. Oz is going to pull out a victory in Pennsylvania. It is going to be close, but I do think he's going to win. Fetterman is going to lose. I would like to put an asterisk next to this. Pennsylvania has some shady Democratic cities that I do not trust.
Philadelphia.
And Pennsylvania leans heavy on early voting. So my asterisk is, if Oz loses, it's because of one of two things, or a combination. Shady business, and people that voted strictly Democrat because they just vote Democrat and they hadn't even heard Fetterman speak yet. And they voted 3 months ago, which is totally... I mean, the guy cannot even... He went on The View the other day, and he can't even sit out there with them. He has to sit in a separate room and have closed captioning so that he can respond to their questions. He gets asked one question at a time. He answers.
Was it taped or live?
I think it was live. But, The View is usually like a bunch of angry women yelling at him. They're like, "What? No." Nobody understands what they're saying.
They ain't angry at him, though, because he's a Democrat.
No, but that's just how they talk.
Screeching.
So he doesn't have to deal with that. because he's hiding in a closet listening to closed captioning. I mean, I'm telling you, this guy's got no business being in the Senate. And unless we are damaged by early voting, Oz pulls out a win. I'm saying it goes in the red category.
I'm going to say Fetterman's going to get it, and here's why. Like I was saying with Arizona, Pennsylvania is one of those states that's very shady. Philadelphia don't even count their votes until later into the night. That alone is suspicious.
Well, they haven't all arrived yet.
Well, yeah, sure.
They got to know how far down they are before they know how many more to make.
So that's why I think that state's turning blue.
Okay, which that would be a loss to Republicans. All right, so we disagree on Arizona and Pennsylvania. Let's go to the other one that we no doubt will disagree on.
I'm just being cautious here.
Let's move on to Georgia. Georgia, at the moment, you've got Walker versus Warnock. According to the 538 poll, Walker is at 47.7% and Warnock is at 46.7%. I'm giving it to the Republicans. They're going to pull out Georgia. Them losing Georgia to Warnock in 2020 was a fluke. Not to offend my diehard, hardcore Trump fans, the loss of the Senate in Georgia was Donald Trump's fault. There, I said it. He was mad about 2020 because it was stolen from him. And he told people not to go vote in the runoff, and they didn't.
Well, we just lost about 5 more of our listeners.
And they didn't. So, I mean, it is what it is. Mistakes were made. That is the only reason we lost Georgia in 2020.
Speaking of which, is it a runoff if they don't get to 50%?
I think so. So here's my, I have an asterisk on this state as well.
Oh.
This state will not be determined tomorrow. It will be in a runoff, which is what, January, December?
It's January usually, yeah.
Okay. So it's going to be determined in a runoff. And if that is the case, that it does go to a runoff, there is a good chance that Warnock wins it. As I've said before, the more time that Dems have to create new ballots, the better for them. So I'm going to say if it comes out tomorrow that there's a clear winner, Herschel Walker walks away with it. If it is close and they need a runoff, it's up in the air, but Warnock's got a good shot.
I'm hedging here. I'm saying it's going to blow. It's going to stay blue, and the Dems are going to have the Senate, and the Republicans are going to have the House.
Get off my show, Mark. I'm just kidding.
Now, the red wave could happen. I mean, if you see the articles and news pages, it's going to happen. A tsunami, whatever.
Well, here's the deal. The media, the left, are horribly underestimating how upset people are. Joe Biden's got a bad approval rating. He's got 81% of the country dissatisfied with the state of the economy. You've got his press secretary being asked, okay, there's a recession coming up. What are you going to do about it? And her words literally are, there's not a recession coming. We have no plans for how to deal with a recession because there's not one.
Wow.
Okay.
Now, I'm all for government hands off, but this is a bit serious here.
Well, here's the thing. If they were government hands off, we wouldn't be in this mess. They're only hands off when they want to be. They're like Andrew Cuomo, handsy when they want to be and not handsy when they don't want to be.
And Biden.
Yeah, and Joe Biden.
Your hair smells nice.
Oh, man.
Cherry blossom? Very nice.
So I think this red wave is coming. I like ice cream. Creepy old man. All right. Let's move on to some governor's races. Mark, tell me which governor's races we're interested in.
I want to talk about Michigan, man.
Oh, you want to talk about Michigan? All right, let me pull that one up.
Whitmer was way up there. 30-point lead because that one guy had to drop out. I can't remember his name. And then this Tudor Dixon came along. She's crawling. Then she starts to run. And Tulsi went up there too.
Back in June, Whitmer had 57% of the vote and was over Dixon by 34.5%. I mean, that's like, why even campaign? And then all of a sudden, it's like, bam, and now that race is within 5 points. So who's going to win?
I'm going to say Whitmer's going to edge out.
Okay, I'll agree with you on that. I think Whitmer will probably win, but I think it's going to be very close. The fact that it is close brings me hope for 2024. Oh,
well, Michigan back in, 2016 was Trump's, so it's one of those.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think it could go back. So, yeah, I give it to Whitmer, but it's going to be a tight tight race, and she wasn't expecting that. And I do think the fact that it's going to be such a tight race will put a damper on her possible 2024 presidential run.
Well, I mean, it's possible. I mean,
if you barely win your own state to somebody that was literally non-existent 6 months ago, you're not ready to run for president.
I saw where Democrats are supposedly, now this is wild, thinking about Meghan Markle running in 2024.
I don't even know what to say to that. I mean, that
celebrity Trump,
Yeah, I guess. Does she have dual citizenship?
Yeah.
Does she have to denounce one of those to run?
I don't know, because Ted Cruz ran.
He did. I'm pretty sure he had to get rid of his Canadian citizenship. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really? There goes that Mabel.
All right, what other states are we interested in? Let's talk about Nevada. Nevada's a governor's race that's got the Republican up by like 2 points.
I think that's going to be Republican. It's got the Senate. I think it'll go that way.
Yeah, I think that's going to go Republican. Which I would love Republican governors. I think there should be more of them, like maybe 50.
Well, that's what really matters if you think about it. The local governments, because the states can block the government, but they never do.
Absolutely. All right, what other states are we watching for governor? Georgia. Let's go to Georgia.
That one, I think that's pretty simple.
Georgia. This is Kemp versus Abrams. The former future president of the universe, Stacey Abrams, is down by almost 8 points.
It's the Chick-fil-A state. I think Kemp's going to win.
Yeah. I think Kemp's going to win, and I think this is going to be an example of what we talked about with Kerry Lake in Arizona. I think he is going to drag Herschel Walker across the finish line.
I think the people are just going to leave the ballot blank on that one and then just...
Nope. I can't imagine somebody voting for Kemp and still thinking that Warnock's, he's okay. Because Warnock and Abrams are the same. Warnock and Abrams are the same thing.
It's that preacher image.
He ain't no preacher.
I know, but people see that preacher thing in the background and they blindly follow that. And what are you going to do?
You can become a preacher 5 minutes online. You fill out some paperwork. I'm an ordained minister and I ain't no preacher. That's the truth. I took a 5-minute thing on a website and I got it. You want to be a preacher?
You can marry? Yeah, all right.
I could do marriages. Yeah, marriages. I can marry him and bury him, man.
What? Did you say you can marry a man? What?
No, I said, well, I could. That's legal now. But I said I can marry them and bury them, man.
Oh.
But maybe that'll help the ratings. Anyway, so yeah, I think Kemp's going to pull away with that one. And let's look at Arizona. Lake is up by almost 3 points. I think she's going to pull Blake Masters across the finish line as well. I think your governors are going to pull these guys across the finish line. Yep.
That tends to happen, but I don't know.
Yeah, it does. Don't doubt me, Mark.
I'm going to play cautious middle line here.
You know what happens to people in the middle of the road? They get ran over.
Ow.
So I'm just telling you.
I'm playing Frogger out here. New York. Now that's a big one. That's what I've been watching lately.
Ooh, let's look at New York. That's a good one. So now I'm not as impressed by the 538 poll because I've seen much closer, but 538 poll has Hochul, the Democrat, up by like seven points.
Hochul? Is she related to Holcomb? Holcomb?
Probably. I ain't a fan of him either. Anyway, this Zeldin guy is really, he came out of nowhere. Look, back in July, he was at like 30%. Now he's at almost 45%.
There are billionaires backing him now because they don't want to get robbed on the street.
Exactly. And Hochul has made such a joke about the crime rate in New York that I think that has damaged her badly.
Yeah, even Democrats are going at her over it.
Yeah, when they were on the debate stage and Zeldin kept pushing crime is an issue, it's an issue. And she finally looked at him and said something along the lines of, why is crime such a big deal to you? That should have finished her campaign. Like she should have pulled a Fetterman and been like, hello, good night, and walked off the stage. For those that you don't know, that's what he did during the debate. He said, hello, good night. And then he just kept talking. No, people were so confused. But yeah,
I still think she's going to win, though. It's because it's New York.
I think she'll win, but I think it's going to be super close. And it gives me hope for the future because she's going to continue doing what she's doing. If she wins for the next 4 years, crime in New York is going to continue to get worse and worse and worse. And that's what happened back in, what was it, 20 years ago when, what was his name? What was that guy's name? He was governor of New York, Pataki. He was a Republican governor. He's the last Republican governor of New York. That was like 20 years ago.
Wow.
And that's what happened. Crime got so bad in New York and nobody did anything with it. It brought this wave of Republicans. The same thing happened in New York City with Rudy Giuliani. The only reason he became mayor was because crime was so bad. And he comes in, he fixes it, and then what do? They vote Democrat again. It's like, whoop, you clean that mess up. Let's go back to what we had before. I don't know. Maybe he'll win. But I do think she'll pull that one out. Another one that was interesting to me was Oregon. Oregon has not had a Republican governor in 40 years. 40 years, as Joe Biden says. 40.
Oh, Mr. Fancy.
Yeah, he's very fancy when he's got his teeth in.
Or he's falling off a stage.
Yeah, we're still off stage. Right now, the Republican is at 41%, the Democrats at 42%. I'd say that's pretty much a tie. A lot of that has to do with the fact that there is a third party candidate, which is fine with me. I don't care. Get a fourth party candidate, siphon more votes off the Democrat. I don't care how they get it. But I mean, man, of course, here's the sad part about this. If a Republican governor wins a state like Oregon or New York, it's not going to matter because they have the bluest of the blue districts.
And isn't part of Oregon going to Idaho?
I mean, maybe that's what this governor will do. If a Republican wins, they'll be like, I'm going to give the western half or the eastern half of the state to Idaho, and then I'm leaving.
Perfect.
I mean, the rest of you guys do what you got to do. Burn Portland to the ground like you do every other weekend. It's fine. Whatever. But Oregon's big issue is homelessness. They have so many homeless people. You can't walk through Portland.
Is it warm there?
No. But they take such good care of them.
Go down south in California. Stay warm.
California's full. There's no spot for a homeless person to sleep because the sidewalk space is all taken. I mean, that's how bad California is, and it's just moving up the coast.
Well, it's also moving down the coast because Seattle is pretty...
Yeah, Portland needs a lot of help. If they could get a Republican governor...
Wasn't Seattle the place that those homeless had, like, their own camp?
Yeah, but they're doing that in Portland now, too. Portland is going to build, like, 3 homeless shelters, camps, that have, like, showers and... it's basically a little compound for them to live in. But when you have thousands of homeless people and you build 3 camps that each hold like 200 people, it's not really going to fix the problem. In fact, it may draw more people in. I mean, if I was a homeless dude living in Northern California and they don't have running water and showers for me, I might move north just a little bit.
Jump in the ocean.
It's so salty. But yeah. Any other governor's races that are worth talking about?
Not that I can see.
All right. So this show's going to be short, guys. I think we went longer than I had expected, but...
Okay, Indiana and Kentucky. Abortion is on Kentucky's ballot, people. We have some listeners in Kentucky. Get out and vote. Save some lives. Don't let the government control you, people.
That's right. Get out and vote. Abortion is on the ballot. What do we got in Indiana? We got local stuff. We've got our... I think our guys are basically uncontested, aren't they?
State Senate is a guy named Garton versus... Who's he facing?
Yeah, Chris Garton. He's out of Scottsburg. I honestly don't know who he's even running against. Let me look.
While we're waiting here, I want to say a big shout out to our international listeners. We might be local today. We might be talking about America because all eyes are on America. But we still care about you. From Germany to the UK. We love you guys.
Well, Chris Garton's guy is so bad he's not even coming up. So I don't even know who he's running against.
I think he'll win, though.
Oh, yeah, he'll win for sure. He's a former Marine. He's a business owner out of Scottsburg. He's... my district, we also have, for Indiana representative, we have Zach Payne.
I remember him. He used to be in this county.
Yeah. He seems decent enough, so go out and vote for him. I think he's pretty much running unopposed as well. And for those of you super, 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 super local, look for the name Jacob Horton on your ballot.
Oh, who's that guy?
I don't know, but he's an up-and-coming star in the Republican Party.
Up-and-coming star.
Or something. But yeah, I will be on the ballot. Should get him in for an interview. But yeah, I will be on the ballot this year.
Are you going to face Jacob?
For those of you that don't know, I am Jacob.
I am completely shocked. I thought you were Jake.
Mark is shocked. Yeah, whatever. It's my alter ego. But yes, I will be running. I will be on the ballot for my local town board. It's not big, but like we talked about in the beginning, politics is local.
Got to start small, folks.
I mean, if you can fix the problems here and then spread out, you got a better shot versus somebody just running up and being like, I got no experience, but I'm going to be president.
Was that Reba?
You're not going to be able to fix anything because you don't know how it works. That was Lindsey Graham.
Oh, kind of like Reba.
Don't say such mean things about Reba. I like Reba. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, like we said at the beginning, tomorrow is election day. Get out and vote. It's time that we wake up, America. The alarm clock is ringing. Do not push the snooze button because we cannot sleep for 2 more years. Wake up.
Make Jacob bright, not me.
Yes, please. Red wave is coming, but it will only come if you actually get out and vote. If you're sitting at home thinking we've got it in the bag,
Got the wrong bag.
you're wrong. Go vote.
Got to do it.
If you're sitting at home thinking, well, we've lost, if you sit at home, you're probably right. If you're sitting at home and you think, well, I don't really want to wait in line that long. Well, first of all, shame on you. It's not going to hurt you to stand in line for democracy. Get up and go wait in a line. Take a bottle of water with you, take a snack and go wait. There's no reason not to wait.
Hey, Democrats got those vans with food in them now. They take them to the lines. Get your taco.
They probably ask you what you're registered as before they offer you any food.
Free donuts. Oh, not you.
Free donuts for Democrats. All right. So like I said, don't forget to go out and vote tomorrow. It is important. This red wave cannot happen without you. Let's save America. That's all I'm saying. Have a good one.